Hello everyone. In this short video, I'm gonna talk about the multi-criteria decision analysis models, how we can run the model, and how we can use the weighting sum method technique to make the evaluation for the three alternatives that we have and get the final or the recommended decision. So in a previous video, we talked about how we can create the model, how we can design the model using the objectives, requirements, the weight of those requirements using different techniques. One of them is the rank sum method, and the other one is the equal weights method, and then the list of the references. So by that, we have the model already designed or created and ready to use on Microsoft Excel. So the second step, as mentioned, is to collect the real data about the alternatives. So if we go here, we can find that we used the same model we have, and we started to collect real data about each one of the three alternatives based on the requirements already decided before. The next step is what we have to do now using the weighting sum method or any other method or tool from the multi-criteria decision analysis tools is to convert those real data to equivalent scores. To do that, we have to create what we call it the scorecard. So the scorecard is basically a scale from 1 to 5, 1 to 3, or 1 to 7 based on your preference. The 1 to 5 scale is the most common one. What we have to do is to list all the requirements, and we can add the objectives too, and then put the scale from 1 to 5 and then put the ranges for each one of those requirements. So let's look for the price as an example. So we said that for any car that is costing $25,000 or less, I'm gonna give it 5, where 5 is the highest score. If it's between 25,000 and one to $50,000, I'm gonna give it 4, and so on till I reach the lowest score for any car price that is more than $100,000. So as you can see, the highest price is with lowest score, where the lowest price is with the highest score. Why? Because the objective of this requirement is to minimize it. On the opposite side, if we are talking about the mileage or the gas mileage within the city, we want to maximize that. So in this case, more gas mileage is better for us. So in this case, we will have the highest level, which is 41 to 50 is gonna get equivalent score equal to 5, where if the gas mileage is less than 10, it's gonna take a score equal to 1. With the same way for the safety, very low safety gonna have score equal to 1, and low is 2, medium 3, high is 4, and very high is 5. With the same way for the interior comfort. The idea here is that what if I have only 3 values instead of 5 values? How can I insert that on the 5 level scale? So in this case, I can do it with this way. The bad interior comfort, or if it's not good, I'm gonna give it to 1. Nothing for the 2, I'm gonna block this score point. Good is 3 and very good is 5. So in this case, again, the 4 score is blocked for this requirement. So the next step after that is to take out the equivalent numbers from the real data, replace it with the equivalent scores from the scorecard. So for example, the price of Kia Sportage is 21,900, which is, if you look at it, gonna be in this range. So what I have to do here is to take out this real data or real value and replace it with number 4. For the next one, the $26,000 for the Ford is basically going to be in the range of score equal or equivalent to score number 3. So I'm going to take the number here and replace it with 3 and so on. So, or actually, if I look to, let me identify that. If it's 26,000, it's going to be here between the 25 and 50. So it should equal to 4, where the 21,000 is basically less than the 25,000. So in this case, it should get score equal to 5 and so on. So by that, I just replaced all the actual data points with equivalent scores. I have the weights, which is calculated previously using the rank sum method. And what I'm gonna do here as a next step for using the weighting sum method, what I'm gonna do is basically multiply the weight by the score. And then do that for each one of those scores. By that, you will have the weighted scores for each alternative, as you can see here. You can get the totals for those scores if you want, or you can wait till you calculate the weighted scores as totals for each one of those 3 alternatives. So for the Kia, it got a total score or weighted score equal to 3.6, the Ford 3.2, and the BMW is 2.8. Since our scorecard is saying that higher score is better, so in this case, our decision will be higher is better based on those total weighted scores. So from the numbers here, we can say that the highest score is for Kia, the second level is, or the second option is Ford, and the last option is the BMW. If we're gonna use a different weighting technique, instead of using the rank sum, we're just gonna use the equal weights for all, which is 25% for each one of those requirements. If it's 5 requirements, so it's gonna be 100 divided by 5, which is 20%, and so on. So in this case, we again gonna multiply the weight by the score for each alternative, for each requirement, and we will get the weighted scores for all the requirements and for all the alternatives. We will get the totals for those for each alternative individually, as we did previously, and here we can see that by just changing the weighting method, our decision a little bit changed. The Kia Sportage is still option number 1, but the BMW became as important or the best option for us as well, with the same total weighted score, where Ford become on the next level, which is the third out of the 2. Why is that? Because if you just analyze the situation, you will see that the price here is very bad score for the BMW, which has affected its score comparing to the weight of the price in the second option, which reduce the importance of the price, and in this case, the other privileges or benefits of BMW make it to go to the top level or the best options line. So by that, you can just make your analysis and your situation talking about the recommended decision and why this one is recommended, what we have to do with the changes of the weighting techniques. That's what we will talk about in the sensitivity analysis part later on. Thank you.